number 3, Justin Gill.
Welcome to Softball Canada's National Championships, Senior Men's. Steve Sabrin along with Justin Whittle for this game between the Josh Collins Racing Red from Newfoundland against the Kitchener-Holman Cubs as we get underway in the top of the first inning. And it's the Racing Red up to bat, Justin Gill, the shortstop, leadoff hitter for the visiting team. Pitch comes in high. So for the Cubs, the starting pitcher, Kyle Linton. Aaron Waugh, his battery mate, in behind the plate. As that's drilled down the third base line, foul. Over at first is Brian Eit. Second base is Scott Lelis. Third base, Dan Mitchell. Outfield in left, Nate Running, number 4. In center field will be Liam LaForest. And in right field will be Will Schlotzauer. Ryan Kirk figures in as the DP for this evening's contest.
Both teams here looking for their first win of the tournament. The host, Kitchener-Holman Cubs, 0-4. The Josh Collins Racing Red, 0-5.
Gill stays alive. Yeah, the Cubs 2 more games, this one, and then they'll face Bear Creek Express tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., bright and early.
Yeah, and Bear Creek Express right now sitting atop at, sitting at 5-0. We'll see what happens with them in the morning.
Change up down the third base side, and that goes foul. Nice job by Gill to stay with that one. Making Linton work here. And another chopper down the third base side. That's foul as well. So Gill, a lot of running, but he'll have to come back to the plate. If you just joined us, the 6 o'clock contest was won by the Saskatoon Jacks 7-3 over the Souk Loggers out of BC. That put the Jacks at a 5-1 record. The Galway Hitmen from Newfoundland right there as well. And there's a pitch missing low, and Gill will draw the walk to open things up. Gerard Wall coming to the plate.
Number 4, Gerald Wall.
Jared Wall, the left fielder, turns to bunt and fouls that off. Another changeup sent in by Linton. They're going to go down to second base, no swing. The other late evening game here, Toronto Batmen and East Hants Mastodons, the Batmen in the mix as well, so looking to close off with a win there.
So far, Toronto up 3-0 on that one.
A screamer by Linton gets Wall to swing. And that will be a strikeout as Linton sends Wall back to the bench. Mark Stack, the third baseman, coming up to hit now.
Third baseman, number 12, Mark Stack.
Doesn't take long for those lines in the batter's box to get erased as they dig out all the dirt to get settled.
Yeah, those lines, and then the line and the circle in front of the pitcher's mound.
It looks so clean to start.
Yeah, the groundskeepers, they do an amazing job of getting these diamonds ready quickly. Coming out, working it up with the tractor, scraping it, painting the lines, measuring everything out, and all to have it destroyed after the first two batters.
Punch to center field, and that's going to land in for a base hit. Wall's going to work his way to third, and a solid single for Mark Stack. Sets up the Racing Red
Batting the first baseman, number 55, Jeremy
for an opportunity here in the first inning. Jeremy O'Reilly, the first baseman, now stepping in. Linton with a little bit of zip in his pitches, but has runners at first and third at this point.
Still only one out.
It's going to be a foul ball. Oh, and 2 count on O'Reilly right here. Down to first base. That's going to score a run as Eit has to go to the bag to get the out. But for the Josh Collins Racing Red, important to get that first run. Stack goes to second.
batting the DP, number 7.
And Jordan Hamilton, the DP, now the batter.
The ever important first run.
Stack kind of drifted away from second base on that pitch, able to get back.
Yeah, Waugh doing a great job behind the plate.
And now the catcher, Waugh's going to go out and chat with Linton to make sure everything is okay. And now it becomes a team discussion in the pitcher circle. Change of speeds doesn't fool Hamilton. sun slowly disappearing in the west. And a little bit of the moon's popped out in center right field as Hamilton swings and misses. And Hamilton will go down on strikes. So Linton able to leave a runner at second, but not before Justin Gill gets a leadoff walk and then scores on the stack hit. And it's the Racing Red jumping out to a 1-0 lead after the top of the first. We go into the bottom of the inning. The Kitchener-Holman Cubs have Dan Mitchell, Will Schlotzenauer coming up, and Ryan Kirk as the first three batters. Just these last three games in the preliminary round, as the Batmen, as Josh noted, leading the East Hants Mastodons in their game. Bear Creek Express will play the Kitchener-Holman Cubs tomorrow morning at 9. They'll have a bit of an award ceremony for the preliminary round, and then they'll split down into the playoff structure. So and then the playoffs in full swing. And it looks like they'll still use two fields up until 3:45 tomorrow afternoon. Then all of the action on Field 1 for this senior men's playoff race. And, of course, all of those games on Field 1 will be broadcast right here. Defense for the Josh Collins Racing Red. Jordan Noftel will be the pitcher. Adrian Green behind the plate. Over at first base, it's Jeremy O'Reilly. Second base, Brent Hatfield. Into third base, Mark Stack. The outfielders, Gerald Hall in left. Logan Power in center. Matthew King in right. Jordan Hamilton's the DP. So here come the Cubs. Dan Mitchell, the leadoff hitter, the third baseman. And he'll face the lefty. Both teams trying to make their preliminary round count with at least one win on the books. Count goes to 1-1.
Yeah, the Josh Collins Racing Reds sort of mimicking the Cincinnati Reds uniforms with the pinstripes and the C. An old National League matchup, Cubs and Reds.
Big hack by Mitchell there. And that's ripped way out of play to the right side of the diamond.
Yeah, Mitchell turned on that one. I think you hit it close to the catering truck out there. Set up way off the ball diamond down the right field line.
And strike three on the outside corner will get Mitchell for the first strikeout of the game for Noftel. And now Will Schlotzhauer coming up to the plate. You know, that catering truck would be a little better right here along the third base line.
It absolutely would be. But then I got to take into account steps, so I'm working it off after I get it.
At least they make us walk when it's way over there.
Yes, that's true. Sometimes Bernie delivers, which is nice.
Hard shot up the middle. That's going to get through, and Schlotzhauer is on with a single. So the Cubs get a runner aboard. Ryan Kirk, the DP, will be coming up to the plate here.
Schlotzhauer and Aaron Waugh here, the catcher, both played earlier today in the U23 championship game with the Tavistock Merchants. On the short end of that game, but did play very well and took home the silver medal.
Schlotzhauer jumping way off first. I'm sure if any ball gets in the dirt or to the backstop, he's going to be on his horse to second. You have to love it as a fan, too, to see two local teams make it to a gold medal final.
Yeah, they were. It was a great game between both teams. I think they've played them 3 times, and they were all one-run games. So that Rostock got the better of them in all 3.
But all very close. Walk issued here, and that will bring up Aaron Waugh, the catcher.
Now batting the catcher, number 31, Aaron Waugh.
Quick twist by Waugh. Boy, can he get around on a ball.
Yeah, he just missed that one. I think he'd like to have that one back.
Well, if you missed it between the Jacks and the Loggers, we saw a couple of home run bombs, one on each side that flew out of the diamond, and actually one hitting the backstop of field 2.
Yeah.
Incredible blast.
Near the top of that backstop.
Here's Waugh behind in the count now. We'll have to swing defensively. And just missed. That will get out of play on the third base side here. But a very nice swing. Gets the barrel of that bat through the zone very, very quickly. And doesn't get that one. Strike 3, and Waugh goes down for the second out of the inning. And it'll be Brian Eight, the first baseman now, with a runner at second base. Want to look at getting at least one into score. The Reds able to capitalize on an opportunity in the first half of this inning. And starting off with a little change of speed for strike number 1. And quickly, not lift up, 0-2. Good job by Notliff to change speeds and locations, and he gets out of it. So after 2 hits, 2 runners are stranded, and the Cubs come up empty in their first at-bat. So we go to the top of the second inning. Due up for the Reds, the 6th, 7th, and 8th hitters, Logan Power, Adrian Green, and Matthew King. And they'll all come out to face Kyle Linton.
Over at the other diamond, the middle of the second, Toronto Batmen lead the East Haunts Mastodons from Nova Scotia 3-0. Batmen looking to go to 5-1. Try to create as much confusion at the top of that order as they can. With all them ties with the same record, I'm gonna guess runs for and runs against come into play in head-to-head records.
Yeah, they have quite the tiebreaker system lined up. The Bear Creek Express, if they're able to win tomorrow morning, they'll be the clear-cut number 1 team at 6-0. If they lose that game tomorrow morning, that would really throw a wrench into everything. But when you look at run differential right now, even the Jacks and the Batmen, so the Jacks won their game earlier this evening, but the going into the final games for each, their run differential was the same at 19. So they'll have to sort everything out once they get all the statistics in. Here's Logan Power, the center fielder for the Racing Red. Takes a strike from Linton. Linton getting ahead here. And that gets by the catcher, Waugh, though, with a good arm down to first. And that will complete the strikeout of Power for the first out of the inning. Adrian Green now stepping up to the plate. That's always a difficult play for the catcher, especially when you're trying to throw past the runner. But Waugh able to complete the play.
Adrian Green, a member of the U23 Murno Mariners. As you can tell by the M on his batting helmet. Matthew King as well, who's standing in the box, in the not in the batter's box, sorry, in the on-deck circle.
Great changeup by Linton. Had Green way out in front. And he'll get Green swinging for out number 2. Matthew King now, the right fielder, coming up to the plate.
Now batting right fielder number 8, Matthew King.
And a little flare to second. He's quick throw and not in time as King beats it out for the infield hit. Lelis had to come a long way for that one and made the throw as quickly as possible, but just too much speed down that first base line.
Yeah, that was a tough, soft pop-up out of the reach of the catcher, or the pitcher, sorry. The only play was Lelis, and the speedy King got down there before the ball got to the bag.
Brent Hatfield now up to the plate with 2 away. The 9th hitter in this lineup. And he's quickly down in the count. And that just missed. 2 balls and 1 strike. Runner going, throw down to second, and it gets through. He's got to get to third, and he'll make it as King forces the throw down, and it skipped away from the coverage, and King is at third base.
Heads up play by King at second, looking over his shoulder, seeing the ball out in the outfield. Got up and hustled down to third. 2 outs, runner on third. Chance to cash in a run.
And they won't be able to do that as the strikeout will end the inning. So Linton taking care of himself, and just the 1 hit in that inning. The Reds maintain their 1-0 lead, and now the Cubs get a second crack at Jordan Noftal and company. It'll be Lelis, LaForest, and Short, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Cubs coming up to the plate. Sun has completely disappeared.
Yep.
The lights of the ballpark brightening everything up.
Definitely a beautiful night for a ball game. A little chilly. You see the fans here all bundled up drinking their Tim Hortons.
You know, if you reverse this and it was, say, April and 14 degrees, we'd all be in shorts.
We would 100%.
Just not climatized yet.
Or some of us wearing shorts will have a hoodie on.
Yeah, that's right. Here's Lelis now, the second baseman. You get to this time of year and Labor Day weekend upon us. Playoff softball and NFL starts in a week.
College football.
College football
has started already.
Junior hockey in a couple of weeks. It's a great time of year to be a sports fan.
Yes, it is.
No swing, according to the third base umpire, so Lelis able to hold back. Got a 3-0 count. Looking to get on base. Cubs trail 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. That one a strike. Ouch, off his foot. He'll take a little stroll to work that out.
Yeah, that looked like it fouled off the inside part of his ankle.
Three-two, and stays alive, just pokes the changeup offering at a play. And a little bit of an excuse me hit, and that got through the shortstop. And Lelis, a nifty set of hands, pulled him into his body. It almost looked like a cricket swing, and he gets on board.
Yeah, it looked like he had stepped into his wind-up and was like, oh, it's inside, so I got to do something. And like you said, it looked like a cricket swing. What do they call them, wickets? I'm not sure.
It just looked awkward.
It was very awkward.
LaForest now up to the plate for the Cubs.
Score that in error on the shortstop.
All right. Just a note for everybody, we do not make those decisions. They actually have a scorekeeper that inputs that information. We just pass that information along.
Yes, please don't shoot the messenger.
Slap to short again, gets through. Look out, Lelis takes a tumble, and they're going to call interference.
Yeah, Lelis made the turn at second and collided with the shortstop. And immediately both base umps put their arm out to signal interference.
So give LaForest a hit on that. He'll be at first. Lelis gets third on the interference call. And with nobody out, Wes Short's going to come to the plate with runners at first and third. And the Reds manager is going to come out here and... Are we going to have a change? So it looks like number 33 is at second base. Yeah, they're going to bring in Lyndon Power to play second. So whether something happened on that play as Lelis came around the bag and made contact with the defender.
Number 11, Wes Short.
So Lyndon Power 33 was on the substitute list to start. He's now at second. So we'll try to work that out for you. For now, Wes Short is up at the plate with runners at first and third and nobody out. Josh Collins Racing Red lead at 1-0 here in the bottom of 2.
So it looks like Hatfield come out of the game after being involved with that collision.
So a lot happening here early on in this contest. They're not going to let us off easy on this last one.
No. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say something happened with Hatfield in that collision, and either a hit to the head or something like that, and more of a precautionary measure to bring him out.
Foul tip off the catcher. And Short's going to strike out. Watch that pitch go through the zone. And now it's
batting left fielder number 4, Nate Running.
Nate Running will come to the plate for Kitchener.
Kitchener-Holman Cubs have 2 on, 1 out. Runners at the corner need to get at least one across here.
Yeah, you have a runner at third base and less than 2 out, you got to get that guy home.
I would have thought LaForest would have tried stealing second there, try to entice the throw, maybe do a double steal to push that run across.
Nice hit by Running. Liner right to the left fielder. Tagging is Lelis. And he'll come in on the sac fly. Wes Short will stay at first base. Running put a charge in that ball. Lelis held right away and was coming in as soon as the ball was caught. So 2 out. Dan Mitchell coming to the plate.
Yeah, Wall, the left fielder, perfectly positioned on that hit. He just had to take a step to his right. And it was fairly deep enough for Lelis to tag from third and come on home.
Running did the job. Anything from here on in is a bonus in this bottom of 2.
LaForest was running on that pitch, but fouled off by Dan Mitchell.
And that just outside. Now, I've seen a lot of ball throughout the years, and, you know, you see left-handed pitchers, of course. But how often do you see a left-handed pitcher pitching to a left-handed catcher?
Not too often.
Throw down to second base, and they get him. Not on the initial play, but LaForest tipped, and he comes off gingerly. And the tag was applied, so LaForest gets caught stealing for the 3rd out of the inning. That will leave Dan Mitchell to lead things off when they come back to the bottom of the 3rd. But the Cubs get a run. 1 hit, 1 run in that inning. And we are tied at 1 going to the top of the 3rd.
Not a bad call on that to send the runner. You have your leadoff hitter up to bat. He's got 2 strikes on him already. You get caught stealing, you get a fresh set of balls and strikes to lead off the bottom of the 4th. So it's not really a big gamble. It's a win-win, really. If you steal the base, great. You got a runner in scoring position, and you got arguably one of the better hitters up for you to hopefully cash him in. If not, you start the bottom of the 4th inning off fresh.
So we have the top of the order for the Racing Red: Justin Gill, Gerald Wall, and Mark Stack coming up to the plate to face Kyle Linton for the second time tonight. Gill with a single back in the first inning. He eventually came around to score.
Now batting the shortstop, number 3, Justin Gill.
Come on, Justin, let's go. Hey, Julie, let's go. Go, Gilly! Go, Gilly!
Small but boisterous crowd here. Lots of shouts of encouragement. Gilly drills it to the shortstop. Throw over to first. And it goes 6-3 for the putout. Gerald Wall now coming up to the plate. He struck out back in the first.
Yeah, I really expected more of a ruckus crowd or fuller crowd, especially with the host Kitchener-Holman Cubs playing.
Count evens up at 1-1. And that's sent out of play. 1-2 the count. Linton pumps it in. That will just go foul. And we've seen this act before. Fighting pitches off, trying to work your way into a more favorable position at the plate.
Take some pointers from the Holman Cubs. You get the cricket bat out.
Right down first base. That's just foul. It walked a tightrope for sure, but sailed over the first base and landed in foul territory.
Yeah, it wasn't foul by much. I have a clear shot of the first base line, and man.
Definitely the right call, but very, very close. And he'll get Wall swinging for out number 2. Mark Stack with a hit back in the first. And he'll slide in. His hit drove in a run. Sitting tied at 1 right now in the top of the third. And that's ripped to center field, but should be playable. And that'll be hauled in for the third out. And no hits, no runs for the Reds that time around as we go to the bottom of the third inning, all tied up at 1. And the Cubs get their 1, 2, and 3 hitters coming up to the plate in Mitchell, Schlotzauer, and Kirk. Any update from that Batman game that's going on?
So far, the Batmen are up 3-0 over the East Haunts Matadors. End of 3. So the Batmen looking to go to 5-1.
Stay on pace with the Jacks.
I'd really like to be in that little conference room when they got all these teams at 5-1, and they got to go through the plus and minus to figure out who's playing who.
Yeah, Galway Hetman beat Mixburg Twins earlier today, 11-3. So Galway at 5-1 as well. And there's the updated standings right there. So Bear Creek Express at 5-0. They'll play the Cubs tomorrow morning at 9. Saskatoon Jacks, Galway Hetman at 5-1. Batman leading so far. They can go to 5-1. And then it'll be East Hants at 3-2 right now. Sook Loggers at 3-3. Waterdown Hammer and the Mixburg Twins finish at 1-5. So we would go to the bottom of the third, pardon me. Dan Mitchell coming up to the plate. He struck out back in the first.
He was up in the bottom of the second, but Lelis caught stealing. Or not Lelis, sorry. Liam LaForce caught stealing, ended the second, so that gives a fresh set of balls and strikes.
Hard shot to the first baseman and an easy put out. Schlotzauer now will come to the plate, one away. Mitchell put a sting into it, but it was right at the first baseman. And shot foul at a play. Schlotzauer trying to bunt his way aboard, but takes a strike instead. 1-2, the count on the batter right now. Off the end of the bat. Cooler night, but I think the air conditioner just kicked on in here.
It did, and I know there's at least one window open up here.
Nice take. Change up, nice snag by Noftel. And he'll complete the putout. Two away. Ryan Kirk with a hard hit single back in the first.
Nice quick reflexes there from Noftal to snag that on the short hop and get the ball quickly over to O'Reilly at first.
You always play that game, though, because him being a left-handed pitcher, easier to reach out than try to go across your body if you're a right-handed pitcher in that play.
Yes.
Nofto working all parts of the plate right now and has Kirk at 0-2. Pitcher 2 to waste here, trying to get Kirk to chase. And instead, the changeup, it's flared to left field, and that will be caught. And that will do it for the Cubs in the bottom of the third. So 3 up, 3 down, no hits. We're still tied at 1, and we go to the top of the fourth. And the Racing Red with Jeremy O'Reilly, Jordan Hamilton, and Logan Power due up 4, 5, and 6.
No hits and nobody left on.
So still some action in the Masters. .9:15 tonight, just getting underway. Waterdown and Saskatoon, the Hammer and the Brewers. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., it'll be the Shakespeare Falcons and the Huron County Angels. That'll be on Field 2. At 10, Cobourg Force and the Treaty 4 Snappers from Saskatchewan. 11 o'clock, the Saskatoon Brewers and the Grand Prairie Pirates. And that will set up the third place game and the gold medal final. Or, sorry, check that, the semifinals. And then the semis and finals are slated for Sunday, according to the Mastermen's schedule here.
Jeremy O'Reilly.
So still a lot of action left in the Masters division. Here's Jeremy O'Reilly leading off the top of the fourth inning. And he'll sky it to left field. And in comes Nate running. And he'll make the catch for the first out on the first pitch.
Now batting DP number 7, Jordan Hamilton.
Jordan Hamilton, the DP, coming up, a strikeout victim back in the first inning. A little zip and a little snap, and it's a swinging strike.
Hamilton with a healthy cut on that one.
And that one was tipped off the umpire's mask, so the catcher will walk the ball out to the pitcher and give Blue time to reset. I always love that understanding between catchers and umpires, depending on the situation, each giving each other a little bit of time to work things out after taking a hard foul tip.
Yeah, it's a great relationship when you see it working well together. Even when there's some disagreement on calls, they still show the mutual respect for each other.
Linton with a little bit of vocal work in the pitcher circle as he's trying to give it a little more zip with a grunt. And that is popped up to the second base side. And Lelis will haul it in for out number 2. Logan Power, another strikeout victim back in the second, will take his spot to face Linton for a second time in this game. And Linton immediately pumps in a strike. And Power not keeping up to that one either. So quickly 0-2 count on the batter. And that just missed.
Linton doing a good job mixing it up there. Trying to catch Power swinging.
And Power able to stay alive. So for the Racing Red, they had 2 base runners in the first. One of them came around to score. Since then, only 1 base runner. That's popped up. And it'll be hauled in by Lelis once again for out number 3. So a couple of innings of 3 up, 3 down for Linton and company. Reds and Cubs still tied at 1. We go to the bottom of 4. Aaron Waugh, Brian Knight, and Scott Lelis due up for the Cubs.
Linton doing his job, doing his part here to keep his team in the game. Now it's up to the offense to come through and give him a little run support.
Nofdal coming out to work for his 4th inning.
Toronto Batman still leading 3-0 at the top of the 5th over the East Haunts Mastodons. So the Toronto Batmen doing everything they can to jumble the top of the order or the standings for the men's division.
Here's Aaron Watt, strikeout victim back in the first inning. Had a battle against Nofdal. Couldn't hold up on that one. Tipped anyway. And a good eye there on 2 pitches, 2-1. Change up, slap foul. So the Cubs' only run in this game so far came back in the second. And that will hit Waugh, and he'll get a free pass.
Now batting the first baseman, number 27, Brian Ike.
Brian Ike coming to the plate. He also struck out back in the first. Now he's working with a runner, and coach for the Racing Red asking if the batter should have tried to get out of the way more. But Waugh basically in his attempt to swing when he was hit. And that ball is fouled off on the bunt attempt.
Kitchener looking to play a little small ball, see if they can get that runner on second with less than 2 out.
And I would expect that you're going to see another bunt attempt here. And I was wrong. So now it's 0-2. Definitely won't see a bunt attempt. Good eye by Ike. Takes 2 straight balls. Evens up the count at 2-2. And after getting way ahead in the count, Nofdahl not too happy. Count has worked full. So a key pitch here in this inning with a runner at first base. Ike's worked the count full. And he'll chop it over the pitcher's head. No chance for second. And okay at first. A slow motion chopper just got over Nofdahl. There is definitely no chance to go to second. And Ike was able to run it out.
Number 20, Scott Lelis.
Bang, bang play at first. Umpire in perfect position to make that call.
Scott Lelis now was able to get on base on an error, then came around to score. He was also involved in a collision at second base, which ended up being interference, allowing Lelis to take third. And then he came in to score on a sac fly. And now he has a chance to drive in a run.
Which we believe in that collision knocked Hatfield for the Racing Reds out of the game.
Great change of speeds there by Nofdahl. And that was outside. Noftel again showing his displeasure.
Yeah, that pitch didn't miss by much.
They never do.
They never do.
Lelis, good job there to stay alive and just waste that offering.
Maybe we can work with Conestoga College digital TV people and maybe get a strike zone box put up there like they do in the majors, and we can go to that. I will say it would have been interesting to have everything you needed for the launch angle and feed on them 2 home runs last game.
Lelis with the swing on the changeup. He goes down, first out of the inning. Now it's Liam LaForest stepping up to the plate.
Now batting the center fielder, number 92, Liam LaForest.
Both corners on the infield creeping up inside their respective bases. And that one is drilled to center field. That's back, and that's gone. Liam LaForest with a 3-run hammer, and the Cubs take a 4-1 lead.
That ball hit the dugout on the other diamond.
Well, fans have been treated to some launch pad action as a few hitters have battered the ball here tonight. And LaForest adds his name to that list with the 3-run jack. And again, the Cubs now 4-1 leaders here in the bottom of 4.
Still only 1 out. The strikeout by Lelis.
West Short up to the plate right now. He was a strikeout victim back in the second, and he's dug a hole for himself here at this at-bat. Noftel with the offering, didn't get the call. 1-2. We've seen this particular situation this inning. Noftel able to work ahead and then can't close the deal. A hot shot to third base, and that'll be caught, but not before Liam LaForest gives the Cubs a 4-1 lead thanks to a 3-run home run. And we go to the top of the 5th. The Racing Reds need to do some work. Oh, sorry, that was only 2 away.
That was only 2 out, yeah.
I was looking at the wrong score line.
Yeah.
Shame on me.
Stacked the shorts, third base, snagged that ball, took it and threw it to the third base coach, and they started trotting off.
So it was their fault. It was deception.
It was deception.
There you go. Nate running up to the plate now. He flew out in the second. It was actually a sac fly, which brought Lelis home for the first run of the game for the Cubs. So Waugh got on by a hit by pitch. Then there was a single by Eit, and then the 3-run blast by LaForest. Lelis with the strikeout, Short just lining out to third. Those are the 2 outs that have been made. Flared out of play to the first base side. A little bit of a vibration for running, especially in this cooler weather. And now it's 3 away as running swings through it. So 2 hits, 3 runs, and the Cubs have the lead. We go to the top of the 5th for the Josh Collins Racing Reds. It's going to be Adrian Green, Matthew King to start things off, the 7 and 8 hitters. And they have some work to do against Linton and company.
We have an update going of the game between the Toronto Batmen and the East Haunts Mastodons. Batman adding a run in the top of the 5th, now lead 4-0 over the Mastodons. So Toronto doing its part to jumble the top of the standings.
Linton out to work the 5th inning. He's been cruising since the 2nd. And Green stepping into the batter's box from the left side, ready to go here.
Leading off Newfoundland in the top half of the 5th inning. Catcher number 22, Adrian Green.
He struck out back in inning number 2. Little flare to the third base side. That's going to get out. Good foul off there by Green on a tough inside pitch.
Linton doing a great job mixing it up, inside, outside, up, down, speeds. As like you said, after the 2nd inning, he's been cruising. Hoping to continue on here for the rest of the game.
Chop to the shortstop. Good pickup, slide, and he's out. Great play by the shortstop, Wes Short. Not only did he have to deal with the short hop, but he had to get it away quickly. And gets the first out of the inning.
Great effort there by Adrian Green, trying to everything he can to get on, making it really a lot closer than it should have been had he not slid.
Now up to the plate, Matthew King. How many times do you see on a short hop like that, though, that goes off the wrist or, you know, scoots under the glove?
Yeah.
Short able to stay with it and make the put out.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great play there for Short, able to, on the run, able to short hop it, get it out of his glove, and fire it across the diamond quickly to get a speedy Green sliding head first into first.
Chop to Lelis over to the first base. And the 4-3 put out. 2 away now. And now batting is number 33, Lyndon Power. And Power came into the game back in the second inning after a collision at second base forced Brent Hatfield out. So this is Lyndon Power's first plate appearance. And he's working with 2 out, trying to get something started for his team here in the top of the 5th.
Lyndon Power, another member of the U23 Mariners. Nice to see a lot of these young players crossing over and playing for with the men's teams.
So this is a big game for both of these teams because it's a difference between finishing 7th and 8th. And when you look at how the brackets are set up, if you finished 8th, you'll play the 5th place team. If you finish 7th, you'll play the 6th place team. So that could be, that could be a big difference in who you face coming up Saturday. And that's charged to center field. And look out, Power puts on the brakes. Will scamper back to first. Thought he had the center fielder turned around, but he'll have to get back to first, and that will get it back to the top of the order in Justin Gill, who is 1 for 2 on the night. So the Cubs leading right now 4-1, and we'll talk more about the brackets in just a moment as Gill takes a hard cut on that riser, because as much as the top of the standings is all jumbled, so are the bottom of the standings. So
yeah, like you said, where you finish could make a big difference on your next game.
And the second baseman, Lelis, going all the way back and reaches back and makes the catch. Lelis scampered for it right away as he saw it come off the bat and somehow makes the catch. So runner stranded, 1 hit, no runs in the top of the 5th. And the Cubs still lead it 4-1. Going to the bottom of the 5th inning, top of the order for the Cubs, and Dan Mitchell, Will Schlotzauer, and Ryan Kirk. So as we look forward to playoffs coming up here, the top 8 teams make the playoffs, as I understand it. That means whoever wins here has an outside chance of getting in, because the Waterdown Hammer and the Mixburg Twins are both 1-5. The Cubs, if they win and hold on to win this game, they'll be 1-4. And if they somehow get past the Bear Creek Express tomorrow morning, that would definitely put them into the playoff round with 2 wins.
Yes, and it would really wreak havoc at the top of the order of the standings there.
So, but at the end of the day, you could end up with 3 teams at 1-5 at the bottom of the order, and then they'd have to get through the tiebreaker situation to figure who would get that 8th spot.
Now batting the third baseman, number 77, Dan
Yeah,
Mitchell.
looking at
Well,
the
actually,
run.
the 7th and 8th, because you'll have room for 2 teams at the bottom to get in the 7 and 8. You could possibly have 3 teams at 1-5.
Yeah, and looking at the run differential right now, if it ended right now for Kitchener, they'd be minus 20, which would put them 8th as of right now.
But they also still have another game to play.
Yes, they do.
So Dan Mitchell comes up to lead off things in the bottom of the 5th. He's 0 for 2 on the day. A strikeout and a ground out to first. And he weakly offers at that pitch. And he's down 0-2. And a nice changeup by Noftel to get Mitchell swinging. Yeah, we're at the point of the tournament where everybody gathers around those scoreboards at the front entrance and play the guessing game of who goes where, and it'll all be laid out properly after that final preliminary game tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Schlotzauer here, 1 for 2 on the night. Had a single back in the first inning. Couldn't catch up to that Noftel fastball. Hit the mitt, just missed the mark. Slap foul. Ryan Kirk waiting on deck here. Also 1 for 2 on the night. And that will miss. A walk for Schlotzauer. He's got some speed. And with a 4-1 lead, will the Cubs put the pressure on the Reds' defense and maybe try to steal a base here? You've got some room to work with. 3-run lead.
And do you start thinking about runs for and runs against? Do pushing a couple more runs across for the Cubs help them in the end?
Slap to the second baseman. Go to second and go to first, and the first baseman off the bag, and they won't get the double play. So it'll go to 4-6 for the second out, and Kirk will reach on the fielder's choice. Interesting on that play, Justin, Schlotzauer got off the bag, saw the second baseman was going to catch it, and then stopped, which you tell them to do so they don't apply the tag, but he was nowhere near the second baseman, and he was going to make the throw anyway.
Yeah, and it was fielded nicely by Gill, barehanded, to get the ball out quickly to the first baseman. But according to the umpire, O'Reilly pulled off the bag.
And now it's Aaron Waugh. Strikeout and a hit by pitch so far in the game. And that gets by the second baseman, but Kirk's going to hold up at 2. Solid single for Waugh. And with 2 away, we should have the catcher substitution rule here, sure enough. So they'll bring back Schlotzhauer to run.
Now batting the first baseman, number 27, Brian Ite.
And Brian Ite coming up to the plate, had a single back in the 4th and came around to score.
Ite scoring on that 3-run homer from Liam LaForest back in the bottom of the 4th, which has blown this game open a little bit for the Cubs.
Change the speeds there by Noftel. Ite way out in front of it. Cubs threatening with runners at first and second, but there are 2 out. And another changeup, and that will do it. Ends the threat in the bottom of the 5th. 2 runners stranded as we go to the top of the 6th inning. The Reds have some work to do, trailing by 3 runs. It'll be Gerald Wall, Mark Stack, and Jeremy O'Reilly coming up to the plate, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Reds looking for a win to at least give themselves a chance when it comes to the statistics. Well, it's been a long day for organizers and volunteers, actually a long week as this tournament started back on Monday. And, of course, when you're running 3 divisions, the U23, which wrapped up today. Congratulations to Rostock on the championship. The Masters and the senior men's. A lot of work to be put in, so kudos to everybody involved to make things run as smoothly as possible. A couple of rain delays mixed in to the tournament as well. And somehow we come out on time and on schedule going into tomorrow.
Yeah, it was Tuesday was a long night. Thursday was long. Like last night I got out of here. It was 1 a.m. We were finally out back in here for 9:30 this morning for a 10 o'clock start. So, or actually 8:30 this morning for a 9 o'clock start.
Here's Wall, 2 strikeouts on the night. Tries to bunt his way aboard and takes a strike. Linton lost the grip on that one, so Evens the count at 1. You know, I've always found with tournaments and stuff, you come in with lots of energy, then there's the little bit of the I need to recharge in the middle, and then you get to the end and another burst of adrenaline, and then you're like, where did it all go? So,
yeah, it's over. All of a sudden it's over, and you're looking at it like, well, that went by quick. You seem to forget the law in the middle there where you, like you said, you need the recharge. But when you see everything come and finish at the end, you got to be proud of yourself, and all volunteers got to be proud of themselves.
There's Wall with a leadoff stroke as he punches it up the middle, and the Reds are in business here in the top of 6. Mark Stack coming up to the plate. He's 1 for 2.
Quick update of the other game going on. The Toronto Batmen now up 6-0. So they're well on their way to finish in 5-1.
So if you're the Racing Red here, you're down by 3. You're running out of innings to work with. Do you get a little aggressive on the base pass? You've got speed at the top of your order. That's snubbed down the third base side, foul ball.
Fielded nicely by Mitchell.
Linton's worked the complete game for the Cubs. We'll see if he keeps on going here, or if he's on a little bit of a short leash. And that's drilled to center field. That could score a run. It gets to the gap, and sure enough, they're sending the runner home. Here comes the throw, not in time, and that allows Stack to get to third. So a triple. Drives in Hall from first. Actually, it'll be interesting to see if they score that as a double and then the advancement to third on the throw.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Wall coming up there to try to field it cleanly and cut the runner down at third, but wasn't able to do that.
Jam to second. They'll go to first, but the run will score from third. And on the fielder's choice, 4-3. Look at that. The Reds now within 1.
So you were correct. They scored that a double for Stack and going to third on the throw.
Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. So it's nicer to be on the right side. The important note is that that runner scored on the double, and then Stack scores on the fielder's choice. And now it's Jordan Hamilton, the DP. A strikeout and a pop-up to the second baseman is his stat line tonight. Nobody aboard. They'll have to get things going again to get a runner on base. And it looks like we have a pinch hitter coming up here on deck for Logan Power. And a nice hard throw by Linton, and down goes Hamilton for 2 away. So it's going to be number 88, Alex Bajian, coming to the plate. discussion in the pitcher's circle, making sure they know what their plans are going to be for this new hitter.
So the Josh Collins Racing Reds working their way back into this game. Down by 3 at one point, clawed their way back. Now only trailing by 1 here in the top of the 6th.
And that's all you can do. Of course, the Cubs get their sticks in the bottom of the inning, so you still have to be sharp and make sure your defense is ready to go. Another run, though, would be helpful for the Reds. Good work by Lelis, working that outside corner. Great pitch. And that will close the books for the top of the 6th, but not before 2 hits bring in 2 runs for the Racing Reds, and they pulled to within 1. As we head to the bottom of the 6th inning, the Cubs will send Lelis, LaForest, and Short to the plate. That's who we have on the books. 6, 7, and 8 hitters. My question to you is that it for Kyle Linton, or are they going to give him the ball to pitch the 7th?
I think they'll give him the ball to try to complete the game, but I'm be certain he's on a short leash. The minute a runner gets on, maybe I can see him going to the bullpen, bringing somebody out. But he's really only had 2 rough innings there. And, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, he didn't do too bad. So,
and I guess it also depends on what happens here in the bottom of the 6th. If the Cubs blow the socks off a little bit and score a few, as opposed to just being a 1-run lead going into the top of 7.
Yeah, that'll make the coach's decision pretty easy. If they're even thinking about going to somebody else, I imagine Linton's in there right now. He's got the ear of the manager saying, "It's okay, Coach. I got 1 more inning in me.
I got 1 more inning left." Well, we'll see what happens before we get there, though. The Cubs get to hit, and it's going to be Scott Lelis coming up to the plate. And he's 0 for 2 on the night, reached on an error back in the 2nd, came around and scored eventually, and a strikeout back in the 4th. So 3rd time in facing Jordan Noftel. Lelis also having a clean defensive game at second base. He's made a couple of nice key plays. Changeup by Noftel will freeze Lelis for a strike. Now we see Noftel working different areas of the strike zone and has Lelis at 1 and 2. And a hit for Lelis stayed with the changeup and punches it to right field for a leadoff single.
Great discipline at the plate for Lelis. Seen a couple change-ups there from Noftal, and he stuck with it and pulled it through the right side.
And here comes Liam LaForest to put a charge in the ball back in the fourth, a 3-run home run to give the Cubs a 4-1 lead at the time. And another hard shot that gets by the shortstop, but Lelis is going to have to hold up at second as that was sent into left field in a hurry. So LaForest now 2 for 3. Wes Short is scheduled to hit. And that's who's going to come to the plate, number 11.
Well, sorry, let me ask you this. How long do you leave Noftal in? Your team was down by 3. They've clawed back, only down by 1 now. So far, you've got 2 on and nobody out.
And Short showing the bunt. Good call here as the corner's playing in. And what's the Reds' depth chart like? Is Noftal all they have at this point in the tournament? Popped up. Nice catch by the catcher. Did he get it? Yes, he did. Great play by Adrian Green to dive and make that catch. That's not an easy thing to do, and it comes at a key point with runners at first and second.
Yeah, now now do you sacrifice again to try to get him over, or do you let Nate Running swing away?
He'll swing away. That's going to land foul. I can understand the temptation to play the short game and then let the top of your order try to drive some runs in, but at this point in time, a solid single scores a run from second most of the time anyway. So running with a sac fly back in the second, strikeout in the fourth, and a pop up to right field. That's going to be caught. Lelis fakes the tag, and that fly ball not deep enough to advance the runner from third. So 2 away, and we go to Dan Mitchell.
Now batting the third baseman, number 77, Dan Mitchell.
He'll be looking to do something 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. He's due. And this will be the 4th time that he's faced Noftal tonight. So Noftal gives up 2 singles back-to-back to start the inning. And then a nice catch by Green behind the plate on a bunt pop-up. That slammed to center field. This will get a run in. Lelis comes around to third. Goes LaForest. The throw back, he's to third in time. And Mitchell was due, and he comes through. And the Cubs lead 5-3.
Yeah, Mitchell turned on that one in a hurry and sent it right back up the middle. Able to cash in at least one and keep this inning going.
Schlotzhauer now will come to the plate. He's 1 for 3 on the night.
Will Schlotzhauer.
I like how it seems there's a little extra zip on the ball after a hit.
Yeah, it's like the pitcher's angry.
And he quickly gets Schlotzhauer 0-2 in the count. So you're either going to whip one on the outside corner or you're going to throw it eye level. And it's charged to center, right center, left center, pardon me, and a nice catch by the left fielder as he ranged towards center, and a little leap snags it. And that will do it for the bottom of the 6th. But the Cubs get 3 hits. They score 1 and now lead 5-3. So last chance for the Josh Collins Racing Reds to score a few here. They have Green, King, and Power due up. Bottom of the order, 7, 8, and 9. And look who's coming to the pitcher's circle. It is Kyle Linton. That insurance run giving Linton some cushion. And he'll come out to try to complete what he started in what's been a pretty good performance tonight.
Yeah, that like you said, that insurance run was big. Probably made the coach's decision a little easier. And let's be honest, they play tomorrow against Bear Creek. So they're saving arms now. If he can go the distance and he give the rest of the pitchers on the staff the night off, essentially, and has them fresh for a 9 a.m. start tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and it's a big game for both teams because Bear Creek's going to be trying to go perfect at 6-0 and clinch that top spot. While the Cubs, if they hold on to win here, if they can win a second game, they're definitely in the playoff bracket. So tomorrow has some big points to it at that 9 o'clock game. Here's Green leading it off for the Reds. Strikeout back in the second inning and a ground out to the shortstop in the 5th. Bottom of the order's been very quiet. Takes a pitch for a ball.
Green making that great catch there in the bottom of the 6th there on that sacrifice attempt.
Takes one inside.
Well, I don't see anybody warming up in the bullpen down there, so.
Remember back in the 93 World Series, they had a coaches conference with Jim Fregosi, and they asked about Kurt Schilling, about how long they'd have Schilling pitching, and Fregosi's answer was until Schilling's arm falls off. I have a feeling, basically, they told Linton, you're going all the way, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Green, and a weak liner to second base for the first out of the inning. Matthew King now coming up to the plate, 1 for 2, a single back in the second, grounded out to the second baseman in the 5th.
Just a quick update there for the other team. The Mastodons batting in the bottom of the 7th find themselves trailing 6-0 to the Toronto Batmen.
So officially, I have Linton 3 runs on 5 hits tonight. There's a shot up the middle. That's hit number 6. And King will reach first.
Now batting the second baseman, number 33, Lyndon Power.
King a threat to steal on the bases as he had a stolen base there back in the 2nd.
So Power coming up to the plate, single back in the 5th. It is 1 for 1. It's not over yet. Eight strikeouts on the night for Linton. Would love to get one here. And Linton dug deep to get that one by Power.
Great job by Power to foul that off.
Go, Lindy!
2-2 count on the batter. And a swing and a miss. Power goes down swinging. And now the Racing Reds down to their final out. Justin Gill coming up to the plate. 1 for 3. Single way back in the first, and he came in to score. A ground out to shortstop and a pop up to the second baseman. With that 5th run for the Cubs back in the bottom of the 6th, gave them a 2-run lead. So the focus on the batter, the runner at first, doesn't matter at this point. And now Gill is down 0-2 in the count, and he'll take a stroll to gather himself. Can he keep the inning going here in the bottom of, or in the top of 7? And he'll swing through it, and that will do it as Kyle Linton goes the complete game. 10 strikeouts on the night, and the Cubs win it 5-3, and more importantly, give themselves a chance. But they face Bear Creek tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. So make the final 5-3, the Cubs over the Reds, and that will wrap things up here on Diamond 1. Final thoughts.
Well, the Cubs got a fighting chance. They've jumbled up the bottom now. With take a quick look over Gander real quick. With Toronto Batman up 6-0. That's going to jumble things up there. The Bear Creek Express need to take care of business tomorrow against the Cubs. They can look at the game. They can look at the team and think, oh, they're only 1-4. But you can't take a team for granted. You could have got a bad outing for pitchers. So it's an important game for both the Cubs and for the Bear Creek Express.
And it all happens at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning to kick things off on the second last day of this masterful tournament. Again, congratulations to Rostock in winning the U23 division today. The Masters continues as well, and of course the senior men's all the way through Sunday. And you can join us here with action all day tomorrow as we bring you the national championships here for Softball Canada, presented by Kitchener Fast Pitch Promotions. On behalf of the entire crew, I'm Steve Sabrin. Have a wonderful night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Go!